How's it going, everybody? So in this video, we're going to be talking about Rhodiola rosea and how to troubleshoot rhodiola if you're not getting the benefits that you want. So first of all, you have to understand there's actually quite a few different forms of rhodiola, and what form you are currently taking and purchasing is vitally important for your success with this herb. A lot of people just assume all rhodiola is the same. And so when they'll ask me questions on my YouTube channel or whatever, they won't specify the exact extract, the percentage of active constituents, rosavins and solidrosides, or even the strain, because there's Rhodiola rosea, there's also Rhodiola crenulata, and there's a couple of other wild varieties. There's also different types of extracts. The most common extract, though, is the Rhodiola rosea 3% rosavins and 1% solidroside extract. But there's also some that don't have the active constituents listed on the label. They're not standardized. Some of them are concentrated. So instead of standardized extracts that isolate a certain percentage of active constituents, there's some that are just whole herb extracts and they're concentrated. So it's a 4-to-1 extract, meaning 4 pounds of herb condensed down to 1 pound of extract, for example. There's also extracts that are standardized to include tyrosol, which is also another active constituent that a lot of extracts don't even list or talk about. Most people are focused on the solidrosides and the rosavins. Not a lot of people talk about the tyrosol compound in the rhodiola plant. And so all of these things play a major factor in how you're going to feel taking different forms at different dosages for different people. Okay? So if you're having trouble with rhodiola and you don't even know or discuss like the type that you're taking and the type of extract and the dose and all this, you clearly didn't do enough research before you started taking rhodiola to have good success with it. You should always, always, always research deeply the herb or supplement that you're taking, know the different forms, the dosages at which they're typically and most commonly effective at, and how the herb is supposed to act depending on what form you chose, what brand you chose, and the dose that you're taking and the time in which you take it, and interactions that it can have with other things you're taking, while also taking these things with a grain of salt, considering there's a lot of false information surrounding many herbs, particularly things like reishi. Lots of people have unnecessary and inaccurate fear-mongering about DHT when it in reality doesn't affect it. So anyway, let's get back to rhodiola. So here's the thing. At the right dose, okay, you should fill with Rhodiola rosea, the typical 3% rosavin extract. You should feel a noticeable increase in your focus, okay? It's not like Adderall or anything, but there's a lot of people that insist that they feel as noticeable difference as when they take something like Adderall. There's a lot of people like that. I've never taken Adderall, so I can't compare it. But I have noticed a very significant difference in my focus, my mood, my motivation, my energy. My mind just has this improved level of sharpness. There's mental clutter, don't get me wrong. There's distractions, but rhodiola helps me pinpoint through, like literally like a knife cutting through bread. Like Noah or Moses or whoever it was, I'm not religious and I don't give a shit, honestly. But whoever that guy was that like separated the ocean in two and walked through the ocean and guided the animals or whoever through the damn ocean, okay? Whoever that guy was and whatever the particular details, that's what rhodiola is like. It's like there's all these distractions and shit. And rhodiola helps you be that figure in the Bible who just cuts through the fucking distractions and goes straight through the ocean. And like the water's there, but you're just cutting straight through it and going directly, from your mind directly to your point of focus, okay? Anyway, that's a horrible example, but damn it, rhodiola is badass. All right, but here's the thing. And it boosts your mood and your energy dramatically. Like your physical energy, you just have a lot more available, particularly due to its improvements in catecholamine production or synthesis or conversion rates. And we'll talk about that in a bit, possibly. So here's the problem, though. A lot of people don't take the right dose. So there, in particular, people who are like really addicted to stimulants, addicted to this like more powerful, more extreme is always better, yada yada. So the thing about rhodiola, so here's the common side effects, okay? Fatigue, tiredness, feeling lethargic, feeling like your brain wants to go to sleep, but you cannot fall asleep, like restless insomnia. And just feeling all the opposites of what rhodiola is supposed to improve. Okay? That's very interesting, isn't it? So all of the main benefits that rhodiola is supposed to improve, if you take the wrong dose, it can have the opposite effect. Okay? It can make you tired. Okay? And so the reason why that happens is because the studies on rhodiola actually shows that there is a bell curve, okay? Is it a bell curve or is it a J-shaped curve? Whatever. There's a curve, damn it. So basically, at lower dosages, rhodiola tends to be stimulating. It tends to be improving focus and mood and stuff like that. Anywhere from as low as 50 milligrams of the right extract, 50 milligrams, up to around 500 milligrams is where the cutoff point starts to happen. Anywhere in that dosage range, 50 milligrams to 500 milligrams, you can experience the stimulating effects, the mental clarity, and the boosting effects. But then when you pass that 500 milligram mark, you can start to have lethargy, fatigue, tiredness, sedation. And I've taken some not standardized extracts, but some concentrated extracts of Rhodiola rosea, where I was taking the equivalent of like 10 grams, which is around 10,000 milligrams, of whole herb. I was taking a shit ton of rhodiola. It was like 3 grams of a concentrated version. And that's dramatically higher than the regular dose, but it was giving me the most amazing sleep I've ever had. It put me to sleep. Okay, that was amazing and insane. So, yes, if you're experiencing fatigue and tiredness and lethargy from rhodiola, okay, and you need to understand that for you might just be taking too much. This is why I only purchase bulk powders of most of my supplements and stuff, because a lot of these things, especially things like melatonin, for example, extremely overdose, because most people just can't, they won't buy small doses of melatonin because they think it won't be effective, and they want something that'll knock them out, and it's just a bunch of stupidity, because too much usually it'll actually cause insomnia. But anyway, this is why so if you buy a damn powder, okay, you can titrate your dose downward without needing to cut open capsules and make a mess and all sorts of stuff. And powders are usually cheaper for way more. But a lot of people can't stand the taste of rhodiola. And it's like, man, it's supposed to be almost like a medicine. It's you buy it for the effects, not the taste, okay? Really. But yeah. So if you want to benefit yourself and you want to feel the power that everyone else talks about with rhodiola, you need to try smaller doses, okay? And there's some people out there who insist even at like 20 milligrams, rhodiola still makes them feel lethargic and stuff. But I would say that those people are probably experiencing a nocebo effect. And I hate to say that because a lot of people would be, like, oh, what, you say you saw my mind? Like, who are you to judge what I'm experiencing? You're not me and whatever. But it's like, just based on the clinical, the research, as well as my own experiences and other people's, if you're experiencing a dramatic, lethargy or sedation effect from 20 milligrams of rhodiola, there's something something abnormal going on there. It's not even a genetic thing, I can guarantee you. Anyway, yeah, so you need to try a smaller dose. That's a major thing. And so if you can only find capsules, which is unfortunate because some people live in like the UK or Poland or something like that. I've talked to some people. You're going to want to try cutting that rhodiola pill in a quarter, or yeah, I would start with a quarter. So rhodiola usually can most commonly be found in dosages of 500 milligram capsules. And so you're going to need to, cut a tiny piece off of that 500 milligram capsule to get maybe 100 milligrams, okay, out of that. And that's unfortunate, but that's what you got to do. Take a tiny dose. Another thing is some brands, even though they claim to be the same exact extract, for whatever reason have completely different effects. So I found the Now Foods Rhodiola, for some reason, makes me lethargic no matter the dose. Nature's Way was good for a while, but after a while, for some reason, it was causing me some issues. So I don't know what to tell you as far as that's concerned. Trial and error is your best friend. Take advantage of the free refunds and stuff on like Amazon and your health food store. They're there for a reason. So trial and error. If one brand doesn't work for you, return it and try a different one, okay? But you need to try different doses, smaller doses, etc. So for me, what I found is, so here's the pattern I noticed for me, okay? What I noticed is at the beginning, I was able to take massive doses. So when I first started taking rhodiola, I was taking the extract we've been talking about, 3% rosavirins, 1% psilocybin, the Rhodiola rosea extract. I was taking 500 milligrams first thing in the morning when I woke up, and I was taking another 250 around 3 or 4 p.m. in the evening. And I noticed a dramatic improvement in my anaerobic and aerobic endurance and capacity. I noticed my mood, my focus was better. I felt calmer, but more energized and more vital. I noticed my sleep was better. My ability to recover from training was better. And I was able to go without food for a long time too. Due to the beta-endorphin stimulating properties of rhodiola, it can suppress appetite. But then, and so that started in October of 2021, actually. And then I kept taking it, and let's see, October, November, December, January. After about 4 months, 3 to 4 months of taking around 750 milligrams a day in split doses, I eventually started to notice I was feeling really tired, lethargic, fatigued. I developed insomnia out of nowhere, and I just felt like everything was the reverse all of a sudden. And I tried all sorts of different things, and I couldn't pinpoint what was going on. And when I took away the rhodiola, I felt an increase in anxiety and stress and stuff, and more sensitivity to caffeine and things. And anyway, it wasn't a withdrawal effect. It's just that rhodiola has a powerful anti-anxiety type benefit. So with that, when you go without it, of course, you'll notice all that shit comes back. Anyway, so the thing is, what I noticed is rhodiola, its effects build up over time. So after you take what might seem like a standard dose, even 500 milligrams a day, for some people even 300 milligrams a day, after a while, you need less and less because it works on certain enzymes in your brain and in your body that can turn over some of these precursor amino acids and neurotransmitters that generally convert into cortisol. It upregulates the conversion of things like tyrosine and phenylalanine, for example, into L-DOPA and dopamine. And neuroepinephrine, ultimately. So you get less cortisol, but more dopamine. And over time, sometimes the rate-limiting enzymes might become greater and greater to compensate. Other times, you might just get way too much dopamine and these other things. And then there's effects on beta-endorphin and serotonin that we're not really as sure about. you know, because mechanistic research, it's very, very hard to really know what's going on mechanistically unless we dissect humans and do a bunch of unethical studies. This is why there's so much talk about, you know, mechanistic jargon, but it's so highly controversial in all areas. You see that in like cholesterol research and things like that, for example. Still a lot of debate on the main dietary cause of heart disease and things like that, for example, due to this fact of research. Unless, of course, you're dogmatically and emotionally invested in one belief system, then you'll leave heated comments down below telling me I don't know what I'm talking about, which unfortunately is your own Dunning-Kruger. Anyway, where was I going with that? Yeah, so over time, these enzymes start to, some of them upregulate and some of them downregulate. And so you will benefit from far less of a dose and get the same impact. And this kind of is in alignment with the idea of adaptogens, for example. Although I've mentioned before, adaptogenic herbs aren't really what we think they are. The term adaptogen is kind of, it's not entirely accurate. These work as pharmaceuticals and need to be treated as such. They're not just these magical herbs that adapt to whatever the human needs, okay? If you take too much rhodiola, it's going to cause insomnia, okay? If you take rhodiola for a long time, it might cause insomnia. It might cause insomnia mixed with lethargy and fatigue, okay? So anyway, and you might notice that you feel just fine without sleeping, but just that you never sleep. That's kind of scary after a while, actually. Anyway, so yeah, you need to experiment with your dose, and after a while, if you start to notice opposite effects, so it's kind of a paradox. People will think, oh, I am developing a tolerance to rhodiola. And it might actually be the opposite. It might actually be that you've been taking it for so long that these effects have made physical changes in your brain or in your neurochemistry that you're more sensitive now to the rhodiola you are taking. Because if you just go off of rhodiola, those negative effects will kind of be there for a couple days, and you might notice you feel really, really good on the third day, and then it'll all kind of leave your body and stuff. But it takes like a week. It's really like exercise. The thing people don't understand about foods and herbs is that they're very powerful. These foods and these herbs, they literally create metabolic shifts in your body and metabolic adaptations that take about 1 to 4 weeks to fully develop. And then they become kind of solidified. The same way that if you go through a strength training routine, you know, on the first week of like squatting, for example, doing barbell back squats or whatever, it's very hard. You feel really sore. Over 4 weeks of doing that every week, you develop strength. Your body becomes adapted to it, and you develop different changes in your muscle fiber types and your amount of motor units you can engage. And there's physical changes in your body and your metabolism. Your bones become stronger, all these things, and you no longer get sore anymore. You're less sensitive to the weight training over time. That's just an example of how things like eating more fiber in your diet, which I'm not an advocate of, by the way. I don't think that's a good thing. But you have like these physical changes in your digestive tract that adapt to more fiber. You develop more bacteria and all these things. Your bowel movements become significantly larger. All these things. Your body adapts over time. You take adaptogenic herbs or what? Not really adaptogens, whatever, rhodiola. After a period of time, your body adapts to the rhodiola, okay? That is the whole idea of polyphenols and their benefits and so-called adaptogenic herbs and even medications like mood stabilizers and things, antidepressants. You always hear they're not supposed to help you right away per se. They're supposed to help you over a period of time, okay? And that's with everything. So, yeah, and so a lot of people, they make the wrong assumption that they can just take an herb immediately and then feel amazing. And then if it doesn't give them the benefit they want in the first couple days, they just stop taking it. And it's like, you're never going to fucking find something that works if that's the way you deal with shit. Like, no, I just need a freaking Adderall pill, or I just need this, or I just need that. If it made me feel like shit in the first 2 days, fuck that. It's just not good for me. It's horrible. It's bad. And then, they just fall at the face. They're in this perpetual cycle of trying things over and over again, never finding a result. So anyway, leave your question and comments down below. Hopefully this helped, and I'll talk to y'all next time.